Hey there, it's Will. Today I thought to talk about NIO. So should you be buying it? Well, I would say you shouldn't be buying it right now. So NIO is an electric vehicle company. There's a lot of excitement about that industry right now with Tesla, Xpeng, Li. You've got Aero, Ride, Workhorse. There's so many. And NIO had a few issues recently. They're issuing more shares, like which dilutes the shares. And also, there's some delisting fear about Chinese stocks on the U.S. markets. But that's, they have 3 years to get their books, accounting set up properly. But anyway, what I do and what I'm trying to help you guys with is just show you my approach. So a lot of people that I've watched channels on, they're investors long term. They're kind of buying. They look at companies. They see ones that they're excited about, like Blink Charging, Switchback Energy, maybe biotechs, whatever it happens to be. And in some cases, there's not a lot of financial information, sales and earnings and stuff like that. So you're kind of, you know, you're hoping and you're looking at what they're doing and the management and stuff like that. And so those are definitely higher risk than others. But NIO has some established fundamentals. I'll just show you with TC2000 here. There's a fundamentals tab and it shows you a whole bunch of things. But earnings per share percent change, you can see, has been up quite a bit each quarter. And percent change revenue last quarter was 146% and 48% percent change in revenue last year for the year. So there's some good value there. Other things people can look at, price to sales, because if they don't have positive earnings, that's a high value there. So when you get to stocks that don't have good high earnings, positive earnings, it can be tricky. But what I want you to do is, if you're looking at companies that look pretty good on the sales or even earnings, you can look at the charts. And so this is a daily chart of NIO. And what I'm looking for is an uptrend, which is these candles are going upward to the right. And what I've plotted here is an 8 exponential moving average. So it's a moving average of the last 8 days, but it's a little more heavily weighted towards the recent time period. So it puts more weight on the recent prices. And the candle is white when it's positive. So it opens down here at the bottom of the candle and it closes at the top. If it's black, it opened up at the top up here and went down here. These little wicks mean how high it got during the day. So it opened here, it went up a bit higher, and it came all the way down, and then it went back up again and closed at the bottom of this candle. So these are like little wicks, they call them, or tails if you want. And I've also plotted the 50-day moving average, which is blue, and the 200-day moving average, which is red. These green dots show our volatility stops. They kind of are where you could potentially put a stop loss. And what it's trying to do is keep it below the volatility of the price, the moving up and down of the price. And it doesn't always, sometimes it'll trigger that stop, but still go up. So you can set different values for the stop loss in terms of how tight it is, but at one level you can just use the dots to see that that it's a good uptrend. When it turns red, that's usually a downtrend or a flat sort of period. So you don't have to use it necessarily as a exact stop, but just as another indicator on when things are flipping to the down direction. This indicator here is MACD, or price percent oscillator, which is a momentum indicator, and the price percent oscillator removes kind of the price from the equation so that it's more generic across different stocks. And so when you see the price percent oscillator cross down the moving average, it's a downtrend, signaling. These things aren't perfect. None of the indicators are perfect, but you kind of look at them all in totality. And so one simple way, the 8 EMA is an uptrend, showing an uptrend here. You can also draw a line that connects some of the bottom of the candles here like this. So you're going to have like flatter periods, and all of a sudden it starts to go steeper. And so, you might have started off, with a steeper trend and flattened it out, but as long as it's kind of staying above that 8 EMA. So right here you can see, basically where it crossed, and it actually coincides with the red dots. The candle comes down below the 8 EMA. So you can see what you want to do is buy when you start to see it come up. You see a cross. Often you'll see either an increasing slope of this price percent MACD. You might see a crossover and it start to go up like this. And you'll see down here that these red, this histogram is showing the distance between the two. So you want to see, generally speaking, from going from red to green, like an upward trajectory. The slope of this PPO is going up as well. But the most important thing is the candles are in an uptrend. The price is going up in an uptrend. And sometimes you'll have discrepancies between the indicators and the price. So you can see here that the price is pulling back. There's a big down candle, so that starts to show a decline, but it could still keep going up. And so just because you have a cross right here doesn't necessarily mean you sell just on that signal, but you're seeing a decline in momentum here, and it does recover. It gets up a bit higher, so you don't have to sell just because of the MACD cross, but you're going to keep your eye on that. And then, once you see this close below, and this switch from the green to the red volatile stop, you would definitely sell. So I wouldn't be buying this. You can see it was down 8%. What you want to do is wait for it to come around and start to go up again. So you want to see this turn around. You can see here that the decline is improving. And so it can be hard to see on the chart when you see this decline. But this gap is actually bigger here than it is here. So you're starting to see a decline in the red, the histogram, the bars. So that can be a sign, like you see every time you see a red decline. But like up here, nothing much happened. So you might get, you might get a flip, a reversal here. But right now, I wouldn't be buying this. So you've got this downtrend, and you can see the downward momentum. But there's always a chance to get in on this. Let's just take a look at Tesla. Tesla's in a better situation, but we're at a little bit of a critical point. You can see it's coming down. You can see that the MACD is coming down, and you can see that the momentum is definitely declining. So these bars show you better. You see how it came up? So this is where you want to get in. The MACD crossed up. You see these bars increasing, and then you start to see this decline. So even though it went up a bit more, you've got that decline there. So you got to watch. And then now, we're right at that, like I said, critical point. So you could start to see a rebound, and it goes up again, and this would start to curl back up again. Sometimes people either want to buy at the moving average or they wait for it to break out. So you could put, like if you were here and you wanted to not just have this candle, it's an early entry point if it maintains above the 8 EMA. But you might want, some people prefer to wait for a breakout here. And the riskier part with that is that, once it breaks through, it can come back again. So by getting in lower, you have a better chance of making money, but it's also buying with in a weaker area. So we'll have to see what happens with that. If we go to just a few others here, this is in a downtrend. I wouldn't be getting that. Same with Lee. There's this one NIO. It could be coming around here. So you see how we have a flat spot, maybe like a double, not quite a double bottom, and then, there is a bit of a turnaround. You can see the stochastics are turning up. This is starting to potentially turn up, and this momentum is definitely improving. So that one's in a bit better situation, but we'll have to see what happens. This one here is too, it's sort of flat and potentially going to come around again. There's so many. There's FUV, which is Arcimoto. So this has kind of stayed flat. Some of these haven't gone up quite as much as others, so there is a potential for a turnaround here. But with NIO right now, I wouldn't be getting that. But we are seeing a bit of a decline in the downward momentum, so keep an eye on this one, and it might be a chance to get in soon. See you guys later.